Chosen OG is here, and that means I have the best keyboard and mouse settings for this season to help you dominate your lobby. So let's go ahead and jump into these settings. And whether you are brand new to keyboard and mouse, or you're a very advanced player that's been on it for years, the settings in this video will help you get faster edits, better aim, optimize your delay, and boost your FPS. But make sure to watch every section of what I'm about to show you, because every part of it is going to help you get better. So first, let's start with the display settings. Make sure you have window mode on full screen so you have zero input delay, resolution on 1920 by 1080, desync off, and your FPS, you only want to cap it at how many frames you can get. So if you can't get 360 FPS, do not keep it this high. For rendering mode, I like to play in performance mode because it gives you the best FPS. Brightness, I keep on 100. The user interface contrast only affects the menu, so this doesn't really matter. Colorblind, I keep off. And for the graphics quality, I like to keep the view distance on medium, textures on low, and meshes on low because I like to prioritize the FPS over anything else. Now for the advanced graphics, I keep my FPS on, and for report performance stats, I keep it disabled because this will actually affect your input delay. Now in the audio tab, the one thing you're going to want to prioritize is going down to visual sound effects and turning them on. Turning visual sound effects on will put you at a huge advantage when you're in a fight because you'll know exactly where players are around you at all times. Now in the game tab, I keep auto run lock zone on, double tap to auto run on, toggle sprint on, auto open doors I keep off, mantle activation, hold jump, hurdle activation, press jump, and then coming down, I like to keep auto sort consumables to the right on because I always keep my healables on the right side of my inventory anyways, so this will just save me time. On the building tab, I keep reset building choice off and disable pre-edit option you want to have off because this will actually affect your input delay when you have it on. Turbo building, I obviously have on, and I actually do not play on edit on release. I have this turned off. This is just personal preference, but if you already have it turned on, I would just stick to that. And now one more very important part of the game tab is going down to replays and turning off these three right here because these will actually affect your FPS and input delay if you have these three turned on. Now in the game UI tab, I like to have the damage numbers on list rather than cumulative. It is just personal preference, so it is really up to you. Reticle damage feedback I have turned off, and then my HUD scale I have on 85%, and this again is also just personal preference, so this is completely up to you. Now this is one of the most important parts of the settings video, and it is my mouse sensitivity. I personally play on 1600 DPI with the X and Y sensitivity on 3.6%, and it's actually proven that having your mouse on 1600 DPI will actually make it feel much smoother and much faster. So I would highly recommend switching your mouse to 1600 DPI if you're on 400 or 800 already. For targeting and scope sensitivity, I've always had them on 40%, and I haven't messed with the building or editing sensitivity. I've always kept it on 100%. And then coming down to my keyboard double movement, I have my 3 double movement settings on 76, 90, and 134. I have messed around a lot with double movement settings recently, and I've found that these 3 felt the smoothest and the best for me. And now here are all of my keybinds. I want to clarify that keybinds are a personal preference, and honestly, if you have been on keybinds for a while now, it would be better to stick with what you're already used to rather than switching them up. But I do believe my keybinds are very optimal, so if you are just getting started with keyboard and mouse, I would highly recommend trying out some of these keybinds. I use Z for sprint, C for auto run. Reload, I use caps lock because I think that having R on the use keybind is actually much more important for a good keybind like R. Q for pickaxe, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the 5 weapon slots. Now here are my build binds right here. I use 2 of my mouse binds for the wall and the stairs. I use shift for floor and F for cones. And I also use E to edit with scroll wheel reset on as well. If you're on keyboard and mouse already, you have to make sure you set up scroll wheel reset because it is one of the most overpowered things in Fortnite. If this video helped you out, be sure to subscribe. And if you have any questions at all, be sure to leave a comment because I will be responding to all questions in the comment section.